Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Still Real Test Show, episode number 121 for June 7th, 2012. I am the champ, Jeff Beck. We are in special show mode, and I know we had originally had planned to look forward to the WWE the next 5 to 10 years and predict, but we have a special. We'll try to broach that subject later on in the show. We have a very special show this week. For the first time since March, please welcome back to the show, now a father, the one and only Eric Gargiulo. Eric, what's up, my man?
Jeff Peck, it is great to be back on the Still Real to Us podcast. It seems like it was just yesterday we were wrapping up what would be the beginning of my long hiatus from this microphone here, but I'm ecstatic to be back, and I've missed talking our wrestling talk every week and getting the feedback, so I'm excited to be here.
It's good to have you back, man, and I think a lot of people want to know, since you've been gone for, it's June 7th, so almost 3 months from the show, how often does Eric Darcy email you every week?
We go week to week. Some weeks he emails me a little more frequently than others, but Eric's a very good dude. Eric's actually been contributing a series of flashbacks to the Camel Clutch blog, looking back at old Survivor Series shows. So we've been in contact some weeks a little more than others, but Eric's a good dude, so I'm always happy to hear from him.
Absolutely. Eric Darcy is one of my favorite fans and listeners of this show, and it's always good to hear from Eric from time to time. Very, very vocal.
Notice how you said from time to time.
From time to time. I at least. I am not pen pals with Eric as close as you are, but he does hit me up on Twitter every once in a while. Not too long ago, he asked me if we were going to go 2 hours for the Still Real Test Show. I guess he thinks that I guess I have no life.
Yes.
I live to serve,
Hours?
Eric. So.
Well, are you going 2 hours?
No, we're not. 'Cause he thought we were gonna, and there was a big joke going around on the Twitter because, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in a little bit, Eric. Since Raw is now going 3 hours, they thought we were going to, I guess, checkmate Raw a little bit and go 2 hours.
Gotcha.
So it was a little inside joke there, I guess, with a couple of the listeners. So no, we are not going 2 hours, and I'm sure we'll talk 3 hours Raw coming up later on here as we catch up with Eric and get your thoughts from the last couple of months here. But first and foremost, Eric, joking aside, Eric Darcy questions aside there, what's it like to be a father, my man?
You know what, Jeff? It is quite honestly the greatest feeling in the world. It really is. And, people tell you that it'll change your life, and, you kind of like, yeah, it's going to change your life, but you have no idea how much your life is going to be changed until you actually have a child. And, I always thought the greatest thing, I don't want to get all corny on you, but I always thought the greatest thing was just, finding somebody and falling in love with them, and then, loving you back as the listeners of this program begin to puke. But when when my wife and I fell in love, I just thought, wow, this is the greatest feeling in the world. But I mean, there's just absolutely nothing like having a kid, having a baby, and just, having that baby and picking her up and looking at her, and she looks right back at you with that, look of unconditional love and just so happy, and happy to see you. it's the greatest. It changes your life. You mature really fast. And I mean, I'm almost 40, so I'd like to think that there was a bit of maturity to me, but you mature real fast in that you very quickly learn that things that things that you might have done in the past, selfish things such as, come home and turn on your Xbox and play a game, or, maybe go downstairs and work on your website a little bit, or maybe, take an extra hour at the gym or something like that. It's like those things don't matter. You don't want to do them. I probably, I do my best to still work out, but other than that, I mean, there's so many things I don't even do anymore, because all I want to do when I get out of work, all I want to do, I look at the clock and I'm counting down the hours until I can run home and see my baby. And sometimes, I'm in a good situation, so I work fairly close to home, so every once in a while I'll pop in at lunch. But that's it. I mean, my priority, my day priority is, I can't wait to go home and see my family and spend time with my family. And that's all I want to do from the second I get into the house, until, I wake up the next day. So it's amazing. I'm not going to be one of these people that say, oh, you got to do it. I mean, it's not for everybody. I don't think I would have been good at it if I did it at a different time in my life. But I think, I'm at a time in my life now where I'm ready to just, make everything about family as opposed to, again, playing an Xbox or running out and getting Madden or, whatever. So it's the greatest thing in the world. It really is. And I mean, and the birth itself, I mean, I thought it was going to be pretty disgusting, but it really was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Speaking of the birth, Eric, I think you and I, when was Nora born? Was she born on a Friday?
March 23rd, 4:19 a.m. So yeah, like Friday morning, like
Okay.
Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that week I emailed you and I was like, I know your schedule's kind of up in the air, basically, and you even told me, you're like, I don't know when my wife's going to go in labor, so at any moment I may not be available to be at the show. If I go off the radar for 24 hours, that's most likely where I am. And I emailed you and I said, well, should we try for Thursday? And originally we were going to do Thursday, and you said, as the week went on, you're like, no, maybe we should try for Wednesday. And we ended up recording that show Wednesday, and then I saw your tweets and Facebook and stuff like Thursday night, Thursday afternoon. You were on your way to the hospital. I was like, wow, Eric was right. Thank God we did not record the show. And I know, obviously, I'd be no problem whatsoever if you skipped out, but you called it pretty good, man. There was some still real to us luck right there where you're like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do it Thursday. Let's do it Wednesday instead, because the daughter's supposed to be coming, or at the time, child. You didn't know it was a girl or boy.
And and that's the other thing too is, I mean, ever since my wife got pregnant, we were convinced we were having a boy. Just because, we have all girls in our family as far as nieces. So we assumed it was going to be a boy. I mean, anytime I talked to the baby when my wife was pregnant, I was always calling him Junior, and always referring to him as a boy. So when Nora came out, the doctor held her up, the two of us are doing a double take, we're seeing, we're like, there's no penis there, sorry for, the under 14 crowd listening, but
they are chuckling.
Right, yeah. So we're like, there's no penis there, and they're like, well, what? They're like, well, what's the name of your beautiful baby girl, something like that. And the two of us just looked at each other, and we were silent because we had just so planned to have a boy that we didn't even know what to say. But the irony is, deep down, we both really wanted a girl, but neither of us would actually come out and say it. So it was just a great moment. But yeah, as far as the planning goes, everybody tells you different. Everybody's an expert when you're having a kid. Everybody thinks they know everything, and everybody says, "Oh, it's your first kid. You're not going to have the kid on your due date. You're going to have it later. You're going to have it here. You're going to have it there." And Friday was our due date. March 23rd was the day that she was due, and Thursday, my wife was really uncomfortable on Wednesday night too. And and then all day Thursday she was uncomfortable. I left work early, and it just kind of caught us by surprise, because we listened to everybody that said you wouldn't be having the baby right away, and we did, and it was awesome. I mean, I remember being in the hospital that night, And it took a while before my wife went into labor, and I went to sleep. I mean, I was exhausted. I'd gotten up for work, like 6:30 in the morning, and here we are at 1 o'clock in the morning, nothing's happening, and my wife woke me up. I mean, this is honest to God story. My wife woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the bed next to her. She says, "You ready to have a baby?" I said, "Yep."